What's up, guys? It's your boy Rangers Universe back with a different video this week than normal, and there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is we gotta talk about Transformers, man, and the current state it's in. Transformers is probably in the worst state it's been in for years, actually, in terms of just the franchise and what it's going through right now. And the reason I say that, and if you haven't heard the news, which I don't know how you haven't because it's been outraged everywhere at this point, Transformers 1 is not happening, basically. Yeah, one of the greatest, not even one of, the greatest Transformers movie of all time that as fans, that we've ever gotten is not getting a sequel. Especially somehow with the way it ended, we're not getting a sequel, or there's currently no plans for one. Specifically said by the director. Now I say that to say this. I think Paramount shouldn't own Transformers anymore. It's going to be real. Transformers needs different management by a studio that cares about it, quite honestly. And one studio that's currently doing really well right now in terms of caring about stories and things of that nature, that would be DreamWorks. And as someone who grew up with How to Train Your Dragon, I can attest that they do care about the things they release. And if DreamWorks can't, for some reason, get Transformers, then it'll have to be, in terms of my suggestions, it'll have to be Warner Brothers. Because they're going to go on a come up pretty soon with Superman coming out and Supergirl coming out next, I believe, in terms of movies. But yeah, we just need to get Transformers out of Paramount, like, expeditiously. Like, they've shown they can't handle this property anymore. It's evident. Because they're unwilling to accept that Transformers 1 flopped because of their poor marketing. As fans, we can all admit that the marketing failed this movie. You have people on TikTok literally making better trailers than the ones we've been getting. Of course, us diehards, we're going to go see this no matter what, because it's Transformers and we love it. And we want to see more from it. But from a general audience perspective, the first trailer just looked like a generic kids movie. Let's be real. And for a Transformers film, general audience fan group, they don't want to see a generic robot kids movie. That's just not it for them. However, I will say with the second trailer, they should have led with that. They really should have led with that, because the tone was better set and it was taken way more serious. But unfortunately, like what I was taught growing up, the first impression is always the one that sticks. And that first trailer, unfortunately, didn't stick right. Like, I had blind optimism for the film, so of course I saw all the reviews for the first trailer, and I was like, yeah, I agree with what everyone was saying. I couldn't not agree with them. It generally didn't do this movie justice. But, of course, me being me, I'm like, man, it's an animated Transformers movie on Cybertron. I'm going to go see it anyway. So, naturally, I went to go see it. However, I can't deny that when people say the first impression is always important, because it is. Now, that was one of the Achilles heel for Transformers 1. No one can deny that. But also, the marketing was just bare bone. Like, yeah, you saw statues at these big conventions and things like that, but I mean, look at Superman and Fantastic Four. You get promotions for that every single time you go on social media. Paramount didn't do that for Transformers. For what reason, I don't know. Me personally, I'm gonna just put this out there. It kind of seemed like they wanted this movie to fail for some reason, and it just gives me the impression that you don't respect animation. That's just what it seems like to me, and I can't really. Unless you can find some other evidence that disproves that. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, man. Like, I mean, if this was a live action film, they would have been promoting it out in the water. And a good example of that is look at freaking Rise of the Beast. That had way better promotion than Transformers 1. And people online want to bring up, oh, it's the lowest budget. I mean, the lowest, revenue for a live action Transformers. Boy, the new universe together as a whole, the new live action universe, is around $900-something million. What are we talking about here? Most of the Bayverse films don't even have that. But yeah, man. I'm trying to sell these. Oh, there we go. Long story short, man. Transformers needs to be saved because the franchise is just not getting the respect it deserves under Paramount. And Hasbro's not safe either. We already know what Hasbro did. We don't need to talk about it. Everybody knows what Hasbro did. That was worldwide news for Transformers fans, casual or not. Casuals by the figures, so they're gonna see stuff like that. But currently, all Transformers has right now is freaking Skybound, and that story is great. Let's not get it twisted here. Skybound is currently killing it when it comes to Transformers. It's not perfect, but it's one of the best stories ever told. Like, I have my grievances with it, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that it's definitely not the best Transformers story we've ever gotten, because it is. And if you don't read comics, I strongly suggest you make an exception for this. I currently read the issues online, but I'm trying to go back and find physical copies for it. But that's enough of my personal business. Back to what the Transformers franchise needs. I think Transformers needs to, one of the things they need to get back on their feet in terms of relevance, things like that. One of the current trending things in terms of entertainment is anime. And I bring this up all the time that Transformers needs anime to really show people it's here to stay. And if you want to make the argument they don't have anything to make an anime based off of, bro, Skybound is right there. Skybound is literally right there. A Transformers anime will help this franchise at a monumental level. Heck, even if you want to do something super simple, like take the story of Devastation and roll with that. As long as the animation is top tier, you're good. You're straight. You immediately got people hooked. Since some casuals only care about the action and things like that. Whereas the diehards, they care about the story and lore, things of that nature. That would be where I fall in. Like, you're talking to someone who's been around this fandom since G1, so yeah. But long story short, anime will be a step in the right direction, a huge step in the right direction, especially if it looked like this. And one other thing is that when it comes to movies, I agree with what Tia Pike guy said one time, that a low-budget character movie would be awesome. And I think the best character for that would be Jazz. Jazz is a relatable character. A lot of people love him. And the people that don't know him, a lot of people would love him if given the chance to shine. But like, just think about it, man. Like, the way Jazz acts, and music being the center of the movie, like there's one thing people can universally agree on is that we all love music. Let's not sit here and cap there. Whether it's different genres or different styles of music, we all love music in general. Jazz, an action-packed Transformer jazz film with a awesome soundtrack. You can literally make this character like the Miles Morales of Transformers if you push for him. Like the potential is there, man. And I think DreamWorks would do that. Because DreamWorks see the potential in little things like that. They care about details, the storytelling. And if you don't believe that, I have a childhood full of How to Train Your Dragon to disprove that point. But yeah, I think a small budget jazz character live action film will really bring in a lot of people. Now, if you can think of a different character that a lot of people will gravitate to in Transformers that deserves a movie, be my guest. Hit me with it, and I'll look into it. But yeah, man, Transformers is in a state where it needs help, bro. The franchise is just, it's gonna come close to dying off if something isn't done. And I'm not saying that as a hater, I'm saying that as a fan of this franchise that wants it to keep thriving for multiple years. Excuse me. Anyway, if you guys have different suggestions, please let me know. But that's my spill on what Transformers needs right now. They took a small step in the right direction with this Cyber World thing. It looks cool. I don't care what anyone says. The concept is awesome. You can go argue with the wall. I don't care. But it's a small step, a very, very small step in the right direction. But we need bigger steps in the right direction if we want this franchise to keep on going. And this brings me to my final point. I think a push for Transformers 2, but it's marketed properly, will definitely help this franchise in a very big way. Like, we need a whole Sonic 180 situation, like where we had this situation and we hated it, and we pushed for a different situation and we got it. Like, there needs to be show of care that we want a sequel to Transformers 1. Which I know I do. I don't want to go back to Earth anytime soon. I want more of Cybertron and their story. Like the Earth stuff, you can miss me with that. I don't care for it that much. Like, I go to these films to see Optimus and Bumblebee and whatever story they go on. I don't care about the other humans and their story. It's just not gravitating. It's just not gravitating towards me like that. Now, if you grew up with the movies, I can understand why you feel differently. But I grew up with the very first cartoon, then I went to the movies to see it. That's how it happened for me. But yeah, guys, I'm probably gonna title this video DreamWorks, please buy Transformers or something like that. I mean, it's true. Lots of people want DreamWorks to buy Transformers, not just me. And I agree. Paramount has shown that they basically don't care about Transformers anymore. Now, unless they can do something completely insane and flip the script and make us think differently, then I'll gladly take it back. But as it stands right now, you're not showing the fans that you really care about these guys. But yeah, man, if you think DreamWorks or any other big company should buy Transformers, please let me know. I would prefer it not to be Disney, though, in my personal opinion. Like, Disney does not need to buy Transformers. I would strongly urge for DreamWorks, in my personal opinion. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I feel like this took more importance over a stream, and that's just how I feel. Y'all get a stream tomorrow, though. I got you. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Leave a comment of what you think about the current state of Transformers and what can help it, and who you think should buy it, and what could help Transformers in the right direction. I'll see you guys in the next one.